Hi, I'm Chip Stites. This is Shonna Kelso, and we are the
Married.
laughing. Well, we are the laughing retirement. Today, we want to do the first part of a six-part series called Moving Abroad. Now, whether or not you're moving across the pond or whether you're just moving to a different state, moving is a challenge. It's a huge change. It's a sea change, if you will.
Especially at this time of life, because it's actually a transition into a new phase of your life.
It is. And we each had our reasons for doing things. Shauna had her ideas and I had my ideas, and we kind of had to put them together. So I'll let Shauna start with why she wanted to move.
Well, my whys are different than Chip's, but I was working 60, 80-hour weeks. I was barely getting myself together, rested up hardly at all in order, for Monday morning in order to start another work week. And I really wanted to be done. I think I felt that there was more to life than this. And I felt that my life was out of balance. And so I was looking for a better quality life is basically the way to say that. I wanted more time, just more time, but also more quality time with my friends and family and with my husband. I wanted to retire sooner rather than later. I know a lot of people put it off. I just have too much. I have too much more to do, and I wanted to be more in control of my own time and how I spend my energy. So that was very important to me. Yeah, I think I just felt that I was ready for a transition, and I'd done a lot of things and been involved in a lot of different projects and co-creation of different kinds of businesses and things in my lifetime. And I just was looking for something else. And maybe I was looking for more. And those were my reasons.
I had been working on retiring for 4 or 5 years when we actually met. I I had taken a couple of what I call retirement mini camps that we will talk about later. But as a kid, I lived in Italy and for about 2 years. And it was one of the things I remember most about being a child. And I absolutely loved it. The second thing is I wanted a better lifestyle. I wanted a lifestyle where other things were important other than how much you worked and what you did, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I'd been doing it for 35, 40 years and I was tired. We both also wanted to travel. Travel was a big deal to the two of us. As a matter of fact, I think we're happiest when we're traveling together. And finally, retirement is the biggest do-over you'll ever have in your entire life, in my opinion. And change and travel and moving somewhere new is life affirming, and that's something that I wanted to do. So while those are my reasons and Shonna has hers, the actual individual reasons for both of us were a little bit different.
Right. Yeah.
You had some that I didn't have.
Well, and you had ones that I didn't have. So anyway, so my whys were really important. And so Chip actually was a member of International Living, and he said to me, what about living overseas? And I had also lived overseas. I lived in Scandinavia as a teenager. So we both had an idea of what lifestyles were available, at least in Europe. And so he was a member of International Living. He said, hey, there's this conference. Do you want to go? And I said, well, why not? Might as well. I mean, it was it was winter time and it was down in Cancun. So I thought, yeah, sure. Why not do it?
Why not go to the beach?
Sure. And so we did that, and we came away with a couple of things that we knew for sure.
We knew we could do it. Once we had talked to the people who had done it, once we had gone through the steps that they took, we believed that we could do it.
We figured out it was possible.
It's possible.
Because we really went down there not knowing for sure if it was possible for us in our situation.
And that's a big deal. I knew as a financial planner that one of the things we needed was a better lifestyle at a lower cost, because that allows your dollars, or whatever they happen to be, your euros, to go farther. And we couldn't afford to travel back and forth across the pond, and we both love traveling. So,
well, we could, but we couldn't do it as often as we wanted to on a fixed income. And living in Europe made some of the things that we wanted
to do more possible,
more accessible. Yeah.
But you had a group after we went to the conference. You had a group of things that were very important to you.
Yeah, I had some requirements, and there were initial requirements, and then there were some that came later. But the initial ones were, for me, clean air, clean water, plenty of it, quality food. I shop the farmers market, and I'm very particular. I come from an agricultural background. And so I wanted to have quality food at our disposal on a weekly basis. What else did I want? 4 seasons.
There's one other thing that was a big deal.
Safety.
There you go.
Yeah. I wanted to live somewhere where I felt safe. And where we were living at the time didn't particularly, we even lived in an area where there was security, and I didn't feel particularly safe in that community, unfortunately.
Yeah, we had a couple of things happen to us that kind of changed how we looked at things drastically. And when Shonna talks about 4 seasons, she wanted 4 seasons, but at the same time, I kind of like water. And so for me, the thing that I liked, and this is one of the differences that we had, is I was looking forward to maybe even living on a beach or near a lake or something like that.
And I was willing to entertain it. But as time went on, and this was something that was revised, actually, the 4 seasons thing, as time went on, you begin to understand this isn't just an adventure. It's not something we were going to do for a couple of years. We really decided we were going to live, we were going to go someplace and live there for as long as it was possible. So it's creating a new lifestyle. And I think I realized that the beach would be great if it was just an adventure, a couple of years, but I was gonna want a fireplace and maybe a little snow at Christmas time. And Chip's favorite season is autumn. It's fall. Yeah. So that got revised, but yeah.
And actually, when you look at it, we're 2.5 hours from the beach one way and 2.5 hours from the beach the other way.
But at the same time, we didn't want to, and we have a lot of lakes too right near us. But at the same time, we didn't want to shovel snow either. So it had to be mild climates.
So
I didn't want it too hot and humid in the summer, neither one of us. I didn't want to shovel snow.
Yeah.
So,
on the food side, we wound up in an agricultural region.
Yeah,
we can see farms all around us. And much of the food we buy comes from within 20 km.
But we also wanted services and reliable internet, and we wanted to be able to get satellite TV. I'm sorry, and not really. And we wanted things to be modern, I guess. So we didn't just want to live in a expat community, which is fine. Some people love that, and they get along really well, and it's their choice.
A move to an expat community is probably easier than what we did.
And it might be a good place to start, even if you don't stay there.
It might be. If you have 4 or 5 people around you that speak your language, who have lived where you are going for a while, they'll be able to help you over some of the hurdles that we have stumbled through. And so to us, the idea of an immersive experience was something that we wanted. And we have more stories about what has happened to us.
It's really made it for us much more interesting. It's been more challenging, but it's also expanded us in all kinds of ways.
And once you think you know what you're looking for, in other words, what are your whys? Well, for Shonna, safety and food and water and clean air. once you know, got that list of whys, which for us, I think was 12 or 13 people
The
long,
whys, then you can do,
then you start your research.
yeah, then you can look, you can decide what it is you want.
We read a lot of books
And
on various countries.
Another why that I forgot is I wanted to live within a couple hours of an international airport because it's going to be a long journey. We have families still at home, grandchildren, parents, and we still wanted to be able to travel and not add a whole nother day to our time. And so that was important for me to be able to go to the airport and get home or get to the North American continent on the first plane I boarded. So that was also something else that came along that
we're an hour and a half away from an international airport.
Yeah.
We are in a community where there are very few expats. We used to be the only ones. Well, there's a couple more now. We are in a place that has 4 seasons. We're in a place that has incredible food. If you know anything about Italian cooking, it's absolutely delicious, and the choices are abundant.
But if you go to so anyway, once we had thought about our whys, and before we really made our list of everything that we wanted, we went to an international living conference.
And yes, we did. I think it was June of 2015, actually, is when we went. We went to Cancun, Mexico. We had a long list of countries and a long list of things we want. And the interesting thing at an IL conference is that you get to talk to people who have actually done it. You get to talk to people who have stumbled and gotten themselves up, who have made the mistakes and figured out what to do and what not to do. And that helped us immensely. And I think the biggest thing it told us was we could do this. That
it was possible, because I think a lot of people, it was something that we could choose. You know, you have to know what's right for you. And so we thought, okay, this is possible, and let's explore it further. We came home came home with a list of countries, and then we decided to start exploring it further. And when we decided our whys, then we limited, we got to the, what is it you're actually looking for? And that helped us narrow it down to the countries. And then, from there,
we get to our next video.
Well, that was the research
which is once you have your research in place, once you know your whys, why you want to do this, once you've figured out that it's possible on many different levels, then you start actually traveling. In our case, we put a pencil to it. We actually read about a lot of different countries.
And
we met people from those different countries. And the next step was, okay, we need to travel there.
Right. And so there's nothing like, Chip created what he calls mini retirement camps, which are not a vacation. I mean, you could do some entertaining things or see some of the sights, but important to go and to really try to experience what it would be like to live in these places.
And that's what we actually did. We took 3 weeks and got lost. Shonna will tell you a number of times that I didn't know where the heck we were. And we had to try to figure out how to talk to somebody in Italian where we didn't really speak too much
Italian. Yeah.
There are a lot of stories there as well. But we're going to see you next time. And we're going to talk about mini retirement camps and the next steps in figuring out where you want to live and if you want to move abroad. So thank you, Shonna. Thanks for being with me. And I'm Chip Stites. This is The Laughing Retirement, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.